everybody, Wildman Wes here, and this is The Worst State of Movies, where I look at 50 movies made in the United States that are considered the worst of the worst in each state, and after watching them, I decide whether or not they are worthy of said title. It's time to see which state we're going to today. We're now traveling over to the west coast to the state of Oregon, where, oh man, I am very nervous about this episode, but I'm just gonna talk about it. Stand-up comedians definitely do their best when they're on the stage or even on television as a personality, and when they get into the realm of Hollywood making full-length feature films, it could make or break their career. Today's movie is 2001's Freddy Got Fingered. This movie is about a 28-year-old man named Gord who lives with his parents in their home in Oregon. He dreams of being an animator and an illustrator of cartoons and whatnot, and he decides he wants to live out his dream by driving out to California to find a job. When he gets down to California, he meets Dave Davidson, one of the big heads of an animation studio, by really sneaking into the office. Dave is a little bit weirded out about it and sends him packing. So Gord is going back up to Oregon to live with his parents again, and his mom is a little bit undecided about it. His dad, however, is furious because he's upset about the fact that he has a 28-year-old son who hasn't gotten a job, who really has no place or purpose in life. And while Gord is living back at home with his parents, his best friend Darren has an accident on his little mini half-pipe that he built outside of the house. While Darren is in the hospital, Gord is there to see how he's doing and meets a nurse named Betty, who they strike a little bit of a connection, and he decides he wants to ask her out on a date, and then realizes that she is paralyzed from the waist down. But her physical disability will not sway Gord away that easily. He lies to her and says that he works in the stock market, and he learns more about the fact that although she is a nurse at a hospital, she wants to be a rocket scientist to make rocket-powered wheelchairs. And as their little romance is blossoming, he gets into some crazy antics at home with his father, to the point where his father can't take it anymore. They go to family therapy, and Gord says that his father touched his younger brother Freddy inappropriately. Mind you, his younger brother Freddy is 25 years old. The authorities go and take 25-year-old Freddy away and put him into a home with a bunch of other kids that have dealt with the same fate. He is completely perplexed on the matter. Gord finally starts seeing the error of his ways when his dad finally has enough of him and sends him away, and then he says, Betty, why are you wanting to be a rocket scientist? People's dreams don't come true. Well, that bit him in the butt because Betty does find a way to make rocket-powered wheelchairs. And Gord decides he's going to go talk to Dave Davidson again by using a lot of the inspiration of the antics with his father as the cartoon that he's going to pitch. While he goes to California, Gord's dad follows him and breaks into Dave Davidson's office and starts trashing the place up. Dave thinks it's an act. He gives Gord $1 million. Gord takes a quarter of that $1 million or something like that, $100 million, I lost track of the count, gives Betty a bunch of jewels, like buried treasure stuff, and then he spends another couple $100,000 to go and fly a helicopter over a bunch of mountains, Grand Canyon. This movie was very, very draining at this point. To the end where Gord takes his parents' house after his mom leaves his dad, and takes his dad and the house to Pakistan, where his dad gets sprayed by an elephant in a suggestive manner. And the best way I could describe watching this movie is the audience got the same amount as the dad did from that elephant, and it wasn't pretty. It's time to talk about what I like and what I don't like about this film. What I like about this film, I would say the soundtrack is probably fairly decent with some of the eclectic artists at that time, And one other little thing that I thought was kind of fun was there was this little boy named Andy that lived across the street from Gord and his family, and he keeps getting put in an unfortunate series of events, even to the end where he meets a almost untimely demise with a helicopter blade. Apart from that, the home where those children that had bad things happen to them, on the TV there's a clip of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'll admit, that was actually pretty funny. But I'll tell you what's not really funny about this movie. Everything else. This movie, for the most part, was point after 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 point of shock value. Literally. Tom Green pretty much just took the concept of Jackass and made it into a movie. I don't know if the Jackass movie, original one, came out before this one, but man, I don't know what to think about it. At least with Jackass the movie with Johnny Knoxville and company, there was purpose to that. This one, it lacked a lot of meaning, and I'm not exactly sure how to put my finger on it. Even to the point where cast members that actually do have a lot of credibility in their resume, like Rip Torn, Drew Barrymore, Julie Haggerty from Airplane, Anthony Michael Hall, Eddie K. Thomas. I'm just thinking to myself, Harlan Williams, he had some okay moments. Half Baked was fun. Everything else, it's just kind of a hit or miss. But this is just... One of the big reasons I know why Drew Barrymore was in this movie at the time was because she was dating Tom Green. Tom Green was not only the star of the film, but he was also the director. So, double trouble! Oh, my bum is in my seat, and my thoughts on this movie are... I'm going to be honest with you. Never saw this movie way back when it came out. I watched it for the first time the other night, and it's an hour and a half of my life I will never get back. And I'm slowly starting to question a lot of my life at this point. This movie is the reason why certain states still have medical procedures that are illegal in others. This movie is the reason why people like myself take anxiety medication. This movie is the reason why we have organizations for people to come together and talk about the fact that they use certain things in excess. Yes, that is the facts. If you agree with me, leave a thumbs up. If not, I understand. You know, somebody's cup of tea may not be somebody's can of Red Bull. I don't know. I've lost it. This is literally the worst movie I've ever seen in this series so far. This one makes The Room look like Citizen Kane. Hell, this movie makes movies like Troll 2 look like Casablanca. And I'm not kidding. Apart from that, make sure you share on social media, and most importantly, if you want to see me rant and rave on some more movies down the line, especially if they're as bad as this shit show, hit that subscribe button. Until then, I'm Wildman Wes, and we will see you next time on The Worst State of Movies. Take care, and we'll see you soon. I hope. What am I doing with my damn life?